Good.
Okay, week 6, Zach. It's been fun the first 5 weeks, and expectations are never easy. But when you do your homework, you can pull out a few winners. And speaking of winners, if you need to get a hold of me and talk about it, if you're winners or if you're in a slump, just get a hold of me or Wayne Root at jbplayslv6 at gmail. I answer every single email, jbplayslv6 at gmail.com. And today, Zach, we're going to go into the Big Ten with a big rivalry. Michigan State. There's nothing better than that usually. And you know what? It's not so impressive that Michigan has been dominating teams, but their main reason is the defense has allowed 17 points or less in all 4 games. They've just been holding and crushing and all kinds of stats on that. They're going to be meeting a little bit of an improved team with Michigan State. Michigan State, they lost last year to Michigan because of a little revenge handle there. Michigan State had beaten Michigan in 2015. Mark D'Antonio, I think he's going to put together something this week again. If you notice, the line opened at 14, then went to 13. I didn't even see it jump past 12 and 11. And now as we speak, the line is 10.5. One thing about it is probably because Michigan had 2 quarterbacks that we're not sure which one's going to play. Their starter, Wilton Spite, he left the game. He got injured last week. And John O'Korn wound up passing for 270 yards with 1 touchdown and 1 interception. And, of course, Harbaugh, he is not going to tip his hat on which quarterback he's going to use. As far as a rivalry game, Michigan State has covered 9 straight games in this series. And that usually shows that the underdog is just always, and they're usually the underdog, but they just cover. And will this be the 10th time? Let's hear your take on it. Going against a Michigan defense that leads the nation in yards per games allowed at just 203, which is mind-blowing. They rank 8th against the pass. Not that Michigan State has any good offense, but they only given up 134 yards. And Michigan State likes to run the ball, but what are they running into? A Michigan defensive line that is 3rd in the nation against the run, only allowing 69 yards per game. So where's your take on this one?
Well, for me, when I talk about a matchup, I like to see both sides of the team. I haven't seen much of Michigan State. I have of Michigan. And like you said, it's not the same Michigan team we've seen in years past, but it's not the same Michigan State team either from what I can see from the box scores and whatnot. So there's a big step back from both of those programs, but Michigan still is winning. And I like, you can say somewhat that Jim Harbaugh is struggling a little bit to get his team in order, but who's not in college football outside of a few teams? But from this matchup, I would just assess the point spread line movement, like you started to talk about, from 14 to 10.5. That is a big indicator of the quarterback play being untrustworthy from Michigan. And maybe Michigan State can do a little bit more offensively to unveil some new wrinkles. But whenever you see that type of steep drop-off in college football from point spread standpoint, it usually means it's the correct move. Now, it might be the sexy play to jump on Michigan if you had both lines and try to middle that. But I think you look at Michigan State, maybe keeping the game close. Michigan might flirt with the late cover before Michigan State gets that final backdoor touchdown.
Well, another thing, Zach, Purdue last week when the Boilermakers played against Michigan, you know what? They looked great on they held the Boilermakers to just 9 first downs, allowed no third down conversions. They completely stopped Purdue's running game. So it might be that, it's just going to be nothing but defense. And let's don't worry about throwing passes on the road and getting quarterbacks all shaken up and all that stuff. So I think I'm going to agree. I think both defenses are going to just stop each other and probably going to be one of those, like you said, it could be a 17-point game, and all of a sudden that backdoor cover comes in with that late touchdown, meaningless touchdown, and next thing you know, the score is 24-17, and all the tickets get cashed by a half a point or a point, depending on when you get this. So it's not a game, I don't think, being that this is way before Saturday and we don't have the exact information that we need to, that I would rush out and play one way or the other. It's just more one of those games that if you like to play this type of game, you want to throw 100 or 2 on it because you want to watch it on TV, you might be better off just taking the points. And then getting a hold of myself at jbplayslv6 at Gmail, or getting a hold of, where can they get a hold of you, Zach?
NotJustAGame.com, right under there under the pick section. You can send me a text to the Superphone app, or you can send me a message on Twitter.
Okay, and that'll do it for week 6 of our college analysts. So going over to the pros. See you in a bit.